Hello and welcome on 360 Sport. It's time to come about the juicy side of the world of sport right now on 360 Show. Now, my name is Adeni Ajishafi, as you always know, and we have to talk about a lot of activities in the world of sport this lovely hour, starting from the volleyball scene where the National Division 1 is still ongoing at the MK Abiola Stadium in Abuja, where all the volleyballers have been showcasing their skills. We have the result quickly. Let's take a look at all the results that happened over there. Kada Kings against Qualifiers Spikers of Sokoto ended 3-0 in favor of Kada Kings as they won 25-20, 25-16, 25-19 as ABM of Katsina against Oluyole Spikers of Oyo State. It ended 3-2 and in favor of ABM of Katsina in that encounter. They are talking about all those results in the volleyball competition taking place in Abuja. Well, the fixtures too, we just have it there. A lot of volleyballers are hoping that this particular platform they have will always continue. That will be a very good one because it's going to be ending soon, probably on Sunday. At least the phase 1 and phase 2, it has been in existence and they are happy for having that. Talking about volleyball now, from volleyball, we move straight to talk about basketball. Nigerian D Tigers, they will be playing against Cape Verde today in the Fiba qualifiers. That is Fiba World Cup qualifiers that will be taking place in Benguela, Angola. Nigerian D Tigers are battle ready for this particular match that will be coming up between Nigeria and Cape Verde alongside other teams that will be playing in Group A. We have Uganda and Mali also in our group. Nigeria, Uganda, Mali, and also Cape Verde. While the D Tigers will be facing Cape Verde this morning by 11. They will be filing out to play against Cape Verde in Benguela, Angola. We believe that our team can do it, as our women also be preparing for the same competition in February. Hopefully, Nigerian Super Eagles will start on a very good note to win their own encounter. Well, we move straight to the big one that happened yesterday in the UEFA Europa League. Different fixtures and results that we actually have, different results that we have for you on the show. Before we'll be talking about that, I need to take our usual suspect, talking about the sport analyst in the person of Olawale Peters, that will be giving us some analysis in the world of UEFA Europa League. Good to have you in the studio.
Thank you so much, Mr. Deni. It's good to be here once again, and good morning to our viewers.
Okay, now we have to quickly start concerning Europa League. A lot of matches that was played. Let's look at some of these results from all the Group A, B, C, D to G. Now we have in Group A, those are the results there. Rangers did well under coach Van Bronckhorst. They won their game 2-0 against Sparta Prague. Monaco in Group B against Eintracht Frankfurt won also 2-2, although they drew against Real Antwerp of Belgium. Those are the results there. Olympiacos beat Fenerbahce by a long goal. She's talking about the result now as it's going. A lot of matches that was played over there in Europa League. You have Lazio. Lazio did travel. They won against Lokomotiv Moscow 3-0. Red Star Belgrade 1-0 against Ludogorets Razgrad. While Midtjylland did well, also winning their game. Well, a good one for West Ham, 2-0, as they were able to defeat Rapid Vienna, while Nigerian star Wilfred Ndidi was also unsung for his club Leicester City, as they did well in those encounters. Now, looking at yesterday, a lot of people were happy for the fact that Ndidi was able to score for his club. Talking about Leicester City in the Europa League, and a lot of people are celebrating because of the fact that guy seems to be the outstanding Nigerian player in Europe, and he did score.
Okay, and we're all happy for our own Ndidi, and we hope that he will do the same when it comes to the AFCON in January. Okay. And this yesterday goal was the first goal of the season for him. I think he scored against Brighton, in which was disallowed by the VAR. So, and also having considered the penalty yesterday, before it's like you made an error and you corrected
yourself.
The error. You corrected the error. So I was so happy for him. Apart from scoring the goal, indeed he has been very, very, very fantastic when it comes to playing for both the national team and his club. He's a committed and disciplined player. So we need more of Ndidi in our team.
Now, looking at the Europa Cup, the result yesterday, a lot of, at least you can actually predict that, okay, this team will win, this team will not win. But for Lazio to have won away 3-0, that shows that they were really ready for their match. And the Rangers, they have a new coach in the person of Van Bronckhorst, who has taken over since Gerrard left, and they were able to also win 2-0 quietly, and they did the business.
Okay, and I'm very happy for Rangers because it's not good for a coach to have done a fantastic job after leaving, and we have what we are having in some clubs right now that they are not doing very well. It's because the coach have left. So the Rangers team, they did they play with determination. They played with determination yesterday. They went to the pitch with that zeal that we want to win for the club. We want to make our supporters to be happy, and that's the result we got when you have disciplined player on the pitch playing for the jersey they are putting on. So I'm very happy for them also.
Now we move straight to talk about the tables of all the groups. Now let's start from Group A. Now, as it stands now in Group A, talking about the Europa Cup, all the matches in Group A, we have Lyon. They've actually qualified for the next round. They've done it. Lyon are having 15 points. They're having 15 points. Let's go back to that Lyon story now. Lyon are topping now. It is their group, and they are really celebrating the fact that they were able to do it. Talking about Olympic Lyon, they are in Group A. They've done it. They've qualified already, and others are just looking at them as if, how did they do it?
Well, they've not just qualified. They've won all their 5 matches, so they've not lost any match. So far, so good. So they are not just qualifying; they've qualified comfortably. So right now, I think they will concentrate more on their league than the Europa.
At least they know that they've qualified now.
They've qualified already. They've won 5 out of 6. So the next match will just be, okay, let's just go in there and play for the jersey, for our supporters. So they've done very well. And you can see also that the other teams, they are struggling to catch up with them. So the fight now will be who is going to qualify with Lyon for the next phase. In
that group. Okay, now still talking about the tables now, we just look at Group A, we switch to Group B as all those teams play in the Europa League yesterday. A lot of teams actually played. Now, if we can get Group B there, let's look at Group B as it's standing right now. A lot of matches that was played. Europa Cup is always so jam-packed when it comes to all the teams that play. Now, we're looking at the group where Leicester City plays. Leicester City, they seem to be having their own, at least they are alongside Spartak Moscow. As it is, Spartak Moscow, Leicester City are struggling to see, who is going to qualify, because the 3 teams are having almost the same point. And you look at, despite the fact that Leicester won yesterday, they still have to perform better if they really want to make it to the next round.
Yeah, they are topping their table with 8 points. And Sparta 7 points. Then so that shows that it is not over until the last minute. And the good thing about the Leicester City when it comes to the Europa, like we said yesterday, and they played 15, they lost only 2 matches. Okay, so they won 8 and they drew 5. So they have the record. So, and that record speaks yesterday when they played against the Rapid, right? So for their last match also, I'm expecting them to win, not to draw, because the group is still open. When you have 7, 7, and 8 points, so that means anybody can qualify. So if they can go with the same zeal they played yesterday, and good enough, their real playmaker, that's James Maddison, is back.
So at least they have someone who can make the midfield strong enough for them to perform.
Definitely, and you saw his performance yesterday. He scored 1, and he did the assist, in which indeed he scored Verde corner. So once you have that in your midfield, you'll be so comfortable, so confident that whatever wants to happen, I have people
that can withstand the heat.
He's injury prone, so I pray that before the next match, he's not going to have another injury that will sideline him for the match. So I give it to Leicester City. They are really they have what it takes, and they're going to qualify for the next phase.
Okay, as it is right now, UEFA Europa League, that's what we're talking about the tables now. A lot of matches I was played. If we can still look at the fact that a lot of clubs in Europe, we have a lot of Nigerians there. There's a particular Nigerian called Agbo. He was also on song. He's called for his team Genk of Belgium, talking about the Europa League. Let's just leave the Europa League for now, and quickly let's talk about the big one that broke out yesterday evening towards the night, and that's Manchester United, the team where it's as if the issue of manager is the issue of almost every time you hear this particular coach, that particular manager coming to United. But finally, the man called Ralf Rangnick has been the man that will be taking over the affairs for the next 6 months as interim manager. Talking about Ralf Rangnick, a lot of people have been asking, who is Ralf Rangnick? Ralf Rangnick is a German, a 63-year-old German who has been doing business in the world of football as a coach, also as a director of sport with Lokomotiv Moscow right now. He's been with them. He was formerly with Hoffenheim of Germany. He also was with Schalke 04. He has coached Hertha, a lot of teams that he has been with in German Bundesliga. And now he is with Lokomotiv Moscow in Russia as a director of sport. But right now, they are looking at this man. They call him modern professor of football. And he has done well trying to instill German style into football coach in the world. Now, a lot of coaches from Germany, Thomas Tuchel, Jürgen Klopp, not forgetting Julian Nagelsmann, have all been taking tutelage from this man because of what? His style. Well, as it says, Ralf Rangnick will be the next interim manager, yet to be announced, but it has been agreed. Formerly, he did not agree, but now they have agreed on that particular terms. It's just for Manchester United to talk or discuss rather with Lokomotiv Moscow concerning his role. The term is that he will stay as interim manager for 6 months, and after 6 months, he will sign a consultancy job with them for the next 2 years before they bring their favorite. Maybe, I'm sure it's going to be Pochettino. That's it, talking about Manchester United and Ralf Rangnick.
Okay, when the news broke out yesterday by The Athletic, I was like, oh, I hope this is going to be permanent this time around. We've had enough of Man United looking for a coach. We'll talk about the Zinedine Zidane, and we talk about the Pochettino, and we talk about the Brendan Rodgers also. And so when we finally got the confirmation that he is going to Man United, but they have a lot of things to sort out. What are the issues they need to sort out? And he was actually approached by Chelsea last season to come also as interim coach. But he said no. He doesn't want to be a 6-month coach. After 6 months, what happens to him? He go back searching again. So that was why he declined the offer. And they went for one of his boys who started his coaching career under him in the year 2000 with Stuttgart. So it's a good
That's
one.
Tuchel, right?
Yes. Yeah, he started under him in 2000. He was the one that gave him the first coaching opportunity career when he had a knee injury and his football career like going to end. He said, "Oh, don't worry, come around, over. Let me do this for you," and he did that. And we can see what Thomas Tuchel is doing currently, fantastically well. One of the best coach we have in the world right now. Okay, so the reason why he was hesitant to sign the contract, he asked them the question: after the 6 months, after May next year, what happens to me? I still need I need a commitment from you that there will be an extension, not as a coach, probably as a consultant, in which I think they are working on currently to find a space for him. Because I think about a month or 2 months ago, Manchester United, they appointed John and Darren Fletcher as their sport director and football director. So what space are they going to have for
those two by the time it takes over this consultancy? Although maybe that's why they call it, after the 6 months as interim manager, the issue of 2-year consultancy role is going to be consulted as a consultant. So I'm sure Fletcher and whoever will still be having their job, but as a consultant, he has a role to play, giving that advice. Whatever they need, they go to him.
To consult what? How to score.
This is how to create job. After all, we have a commissioner or minister of stomach infrastructure in Nigeria.
Okay, I just hope the Manchester United, they are not making another mistake. I call it a mistake in the sense that Ronaldo coming to Manchester United, if you ask me, is one of the problems Manchester United they are having currently. They don't have that vacant position for Ronaldo, but because Ronaldo available, it's their legend, they would rather have him in their team than to go to any other team. That was what happened. So they created that position for Ronaldo. So are they talking about creating another position for Rangnick in May when you don't have it currently on ground?
Although they've agreed that it's going to be 2 years consultancy role. So yes, that's why they target consultancy. When I saw it, I was like, okay, they actually know what they are doing by saying 2 years consultancy role is actually clear. Now, by the time the main coach they want comes in, but there's a particular clause that says, a lot of people were like, okay, what if he performs? What if it actually performed well? You remember what happened when Chelsea got the Belgian coach, Roberto Martinez, and he was able to change things, and it was hard for them to sack him because he was turning things around. The same thing happened to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he came and he was winning, he kept winning, and they were like, come on, let's leave this guy until everything went west or south. But as it is right now, for Ralf Rangnick, looking at his antecedent in German football, what he did with Schalke 04, in fact, something that a lot of people still look at. This guy knows what he's doing. He knows his onions. And for Jürgen Klopp, for Julian Nagelsmann, for Thomas Tuchel, all of them taking one thing or the other from this man with his German style. Now we're going to be having about 3 or 4 Germans in the EPL. But what I'm looking at is, what if he performs well? Are they going to say continue, or they will still?
Okay, I think they have a plan already on ground. That it's either you perform or you don't perform. After 6 months, we need a new coach. So they shouldn't find themselves in the situation they found themselves now. When Solskjaer came on board, he played 13 matches and he won 10. So they're like, oh, let's give it to him. But was that a plan initially? Just like the game they played against Watford and they lost. If they hadn't lost that match, what would have happened? We'll have still continued. It's because he lost the match, they're like, oh, enough is enough. We can't take it again. If there had been 1-0 or 1-1, they'll have still continue with Solskjaer currently. Okay? So I think they shouldn't make that mistake. They should have their plan in place. We want you for 6 months. After 6 months, you go and do your consulting job for the next 2 years. Okay? Then if he comes, he's going to perform, at least for the next 5-6 matches. You know the reason why? The players, they have this attitude when they have a new coach. They want to impress the coach. They want to play for the club. They want to give it all out. And the same way they want to sack a coach, they have a way of doing that.
Also going against the coach.
They've done that times another. But even this same Manchester United, they did it for Jose Mourinho. The match between Manchester United and Man City, in which they were leading 3-0, and Jose Mourinho, he has the matching order: win this match or you lose. You lose, you go. You
are going to continue from where you are stopping right now. Let's go on the short break. By the time we'll return, we'll come back to that analysis. We'll be right back after this timeout.
Get latest updates on current topical issues and breaking news by downloading the Trust TV mobile app on your Android devices. Go online, click Google Play Store, search Trust TV, install the app, and get doses of unfiltered information on happenings all over the world in your pocket. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Yes, good to have you join us on 360 Sport. We've been talking about Ralf Rangnick with Manchester United. What's next? If this man comes for 6 months, what's going to be the next thing he's going to do? Well, 2 years consultancy role, as they stated it. Well, the man has done well for himself when it comes to football management, and now he comes to Manchester United as an interim manager before the main man will be taking over. Talking about Ralf Rangnick, who has really done well for himself. Now, we've been talking with Peter Solawale concerning this particular topic, but we have to go back to the Europa League. Let's look at the table again before we also switch again. But now, let's talk about the Europa League table. We've taken Group A and B thereabouts. Now let's quickly look at other teams that participated in this competition. Now looking at this group now, Lazio are trailing Galatasaray by 8-11. That's the extra 3 points there. So for Marseille, 4 points, and you have Lokomotiv Moscow with just 2 points there. Galatasaray against Lazio. That seems to be like the Turkish team. They've gone away. They've run away with it the way it is right now. Yes, 11 versus 8.
It's the
Lazio, despite Lazio winning yesterday.
Yes. So the difference between them is now how many points?
3.
3 points. So that means whatever happens during the next match, they've already guaranteed themselves in this place for the next round. So I think they've done very well this time around. So they have nothing to worry about. Lokomotiv Moscow, they are where? 4th.
Yes, they are standing 4th on the table.
4th, so they are like the last currently.
There's nothing they can do.
So that means there's nothing they can do. They have nothing to play for. So let's see how it happens during the next match, and to see if Galatasaray also they will win their next match, to know that okay, we've won and we've won comfortably.
If you check Turkish Super Liga, you have Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, and this club, the name Istanbul Başakşehir, always the 3 teams seems to be the forces, especially Galatasaray and Fenerbahce and Besiktas. 4 teams always standing out when it comes to UEFA Champions League, Europa Cup, in the over there in Europe. That is from Turkey. But right now, Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, and also Besiktas, they are also here, all of them. Although except for Istanbul Başakşehir, so far they are not registering themselves in this year's edition of Champions and Europa Cup. Now, still talking about this league, we look at another set of table now quickly before we wrap up the show. Talking about the Europa League, we've talked about the Galatasaray table, the group, and now let's look at another one there quickly as we look at the other table that we have. Belgrade, yes, you have that team there, 10 points. That is Red Star Belgrade. Sporting Braga of Portugal, they have 9. This team is this group is tough. FC Midtjylland of Denmark, they have 8. So you have 8, 9, 10. Red Star Belgrade standing first. Sporting Braga and Midtjylland of Denmark, the 3 teams. It's going to be very tough.
So that shows whoever is going to qualify will have to wait till
last
match to see who is winning. And it's not about I'm going to be at home or you'll be away.
Just win.
What you are bringing to the table, what you have in stock, the tactics and the style you are going to display. So we'll see what happens by next match. I think December 7 or 8,
yes,
when they are playing the last. It's going to be very interesting because we are going to the next phase with. It's only about 3 or 4 teams that are sure of the next stage. The next stage.
Round of 32.
Round of 32 from the group of 8 that we have. So that means we still have a lot to be played for. So it's going to be very interesting come December 7 and 8 to see who qualify.
Okay, now we've been taking Europa League, the results and table earlier. Now, we also told you earlier concerning the National Division 1 Phase 2 that took taking place at the MK Abiola Stadium. Some results were actually brought to your viewing pleasure there for you to see what's happening over there concerning volleyballers, and to let you know that Nigerian D Tigers, the male basketball team, they will be facing Cape Verde today, this morning, over there in Benguela, Angola. It will be happening live. We hope that Nigerian team will be able to win that game as they face Cape Verde. And the good thing is that Nigerian team will be having some home-based players that will be participating, and hopefully they will justify the reason why they were given the chance. Coach Julius Nwosu will be the one to at least coach that team. We hope that they will be able to qualify for the World Cup. They will be playing against Cape Verde, Uganda, and also Mali. We wish Nigerian D Tigers all the best. And before we go, your take on the CAF Confederation will be coming up this weekend, talking about Al Masry facing Rivers United. Okay. Al Masry versus Rivers United CAF Confederation, while Enyimba goes to play against Al Ittihad of Libya.
Okay. Those days, I will have put my bets on Rivers United or the Enyimba. But if you look at the performance of our local team currently now, it's not what we used to be. Do we even have a league table? We don't even have everything under this current NFF administration. It's kind of I don't really understand. I don't know if you are playing a league or not.
The league will start by December 17th.
They said it will start by December
17th.
It's not December that it's supposed to start.
Yeah.
They kept changing it. Why? We don't have a timetable that we adhere with strictly. Last year we had the same thing. Year before we had the same thing. This has been happening since 2014 when Pinnick came on board as the NFF chairman. So honestly, we have a lot to do.
I just have to cut you there because of our time. Well, next time we have to talk about this MPFL issue. It's going to be a big one. Now, MPFL will be starting by December 17, and hopefully all the things will get their acts together. It has been 360 Sports on Trust TV with Peter Olawale and my humble self, Adeni Ajijafe, saying thanks for watching the program.